Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another IWL game. We're live from the iconic Tilak Maidan Stadium. It is Sethu FC against Sports Odisha in what promises to be another crunch game in this competition. So I'm here joined in the commentary box with my fellow commentator and partner in crime, Junaid Ahmed. So a very warm welcome, Junaid. I hope you're doing well, my friend.
Hello and welcome to all the viewers joining in. Thank you, Joel. And what a game this could turn out to be. The players getting off from the team bus. We did manage to speak to the head coach of Sethu FC before the all-important kickoff,
What do you think
and
of
this
this
is what he had to
tournament
say.
so far in this season?
Yeah, I feel it's good because we played all three away matches and we have taken some points. So I'm very happy as of now.
What were the takeaways from the game between Gate and Odisha FC?
Yeah, yeah, we played a very good game. I feel we could have done better. And after looking at that match, we have done some correction, and the girls will come strongly for this match.
Any changes in your approach to the game today?
Yeah, definitely we will be looking for the 3-point, and we'll be looking more of attacking for this match.
Thank you, coach. All the best for the match.
Yeah.
Pretty confident there, Kanan Priolkar, as we take a look at the dressing room of the visiting side today, Sports Odisha. It's going to be an interesting game, Joel. Sports Odisha, 4 defeats on the bounce, and they will look to come back stronger. We did manage to speak to the head coach of the visiting team as well, Pratima Seth, and this is what she had to say before the kickoff. Well, we'll get there in just a bit as we still look at...
It has been a difficult season so far. How has the team adjusted for the conditions?
Yeah, we know we are facing some difficulties in our team, but we are looking forward for some positive result today, and we hope the girls will do better today.
What is your expectation from the remaining games?
Last 4 matches we have lost, but next all the matches will go for some draws and win. We look after the team, that which team we are playing. Okay, according to that we have to plan.
How are you prepared for the today's game?
Definitely, coach. Anyone wants to win the match, and we people like that only will go for win for 3 points.
Thank you, coach. All the best for the match.
Thank you so much.
Right, pretty confident there, Joel. Both the coaches eyeing all those important 3 points. How do you see this game panning out for the next 90 minutes?
I have a problem with what she constantly keeps on saying, the Sports Odisha head coach. We will be goal. She said, and wins. For me, that is, you can't do that as a coach. You really can't. I really do hope, she practices a little bit more what she has to say in front of the media, because the media is unforgivable at times. And when players listen to that all the time, that they're going to go for draws, it's instantly a negative mindset that you're coming out into the game. I mean, I genuinely don't like that at all. But yet again, let's hope that they put in a better performance here today against Sethu. I mean, it can't get any worse than what it got against Gokulam Kerala. That's for sure. I mean, they lost 8-0, and that was not a very good display by Sports Odisha. The lineups are out for Sethu. Angela, Purnima, Nirmala, and Gopaldi Sona, Babina, Omita, Junior, Bandari, Apurna, Kajol, and Kavya. On the bench, Devi, Gita, Ayasri, Daya, Kushbu, Priyanka, Gladys, Malavika, Karti, the head coach Kanan, Vital. So it's a very strong lineup for Sethu FC. They are going for the 3 points. The lineup suggests that they are, and they are playing at home. Well, home away from home, if you want to call it that way, right, Junaid?
Well, that's right. Tilak Maidan is their home for this fixture. Looks like they've made a couple of changes. Engupauri and Kajal D'Souza in the playing 11. They started on the bench in the previous fixture against Odisha FC. As the players have marched out in the center. Sethu FC in all blue. That's their home kit. And Odisha FC, beg your pardon, Sports Odisha in red for this fixture. Got some dignitaries
So I do
before
hope that we get
the all-important kickoff.
Junaid, as I was about to say, that I do hope that the game, especially for Sports Odisha's sake, is a better performance on what they performed with them. And the lineup for Sports Odisha, they once again changed the goalkeeper Sarkel, Nayak, Halder, Mundari, Mins, Hembram, Kumari, Sahu, Naik, and Kishan on the bench. Maji, Ganju, Das, Ramani, Bishi, Oram, Lugun, Das, Bharati Das, Kamini Munda, and the head coach Paramita Sid. So, I mean, there has to be a reaction to their performance, and we can see the table here. Well, we saw it for literally 2 seconds. Sports Odisha are bang at the bottom of the table, so that for them somewhat has to change. The referee Ranjita Devi Teksham, Sujata Palit, Moni Kilari, Pujares, Adler Thomas de Cruz. So that's the refereeing quintet for the game today. Junaid, Sports Odisha, what do they have to do? I mean, they have a lot to do. I mean, the question might sound a little bit silly at first, but what do they really have to work on? As we see the standings again, you can see Sports Odisha, 1 goal scored, 16 conceded. I mean, like I said, it's going to be a silly question. What do they have to work on? They clearly have to work on scoring, conceding. Sethu are 4th on with 4 points, so they're bang on there in the middle. So, Junaid, what do they have to do to just improve their performances?
First, try and defend. Well, that has to be the order of the day, at least for this fixture, because we've seen what happened in the last game. Joel, try and defend, try and be resilient at the back and get that communication right with the goalkeeper. We do see new changes for Sports Odisha as well. There's Ratna Halder who comes in the back line, as well as Arjida Sharkil. She starts in the goal today. There's Amruta Nayak starting, as well as Janhabi Kishan. There are 4 changes to the playing 11 for Sports Odisha compared to their previous fixture. Well, I'm pretty sure Promita Sith would be hoping that the change in the squad, the change in the lineup, would have a change in fortunes as well for the girls in red today. Sethu FC, on the other hand, with 1 victory, 1 defeat, and 1 draw. The draw against a pretty strong Gokulam FC side on the opening day of the IWL, sitting 4th, as you just saw the points table. They would be up and running for this fixture, playing at home for the very first time here at the Tilak Maidan. And to answer your questions, Sports Odisha, what do they do from here on? Try and defend and get the ball rolling as quick as possible. Try and get Manisha Naik and Shubrata Sahu involved in the game. We haven't seen thus far in the league, but you never know. Today could just be the day for the girls in red. They'll have to try and believe that. We're all set, Joel, for the kickoff. Your predictions for the first half?
So I'm not into the business of predicting, because I usually get them all wrong, to be fair with you. But I mean, there is a clear favorite in this game, and that is Sethu FC, given the squad, given the the fact that they drew against Gokulam, they lost narrowly to Odisha FC. So, I mean, it's a very good Sethu FC squad as the game kicks off here at the Tilak Maidan Stadium in Goa. I mean, this home and away format is just fascinating, isn't it? One day we're in the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar, the next day we're in Kolkata, following day we're in the EMS Stadium in the heart of Calicut, and today we are in sunny Goa. Next to the beach here at the Tilak Maidan Stadium. What I would give to be there right now. Oh, just at the beach, enjoying a nice pineapple juice, by the ocean. Junaid, I mean, it is a pretty setting, isn't it, Inga?
It is definitely a pretty sitting, and well, that's exactly what Promita Sid would be expecting, that she wants to get on the right side of results as we are underway here at the Tilak Maidan Sports Odisha, going from right to left on your screens and pressed in red.
I mean, as
It's
far
like
as away days, as far as away day goes, Goa is probably the best destination that you can have as an away day. I mean, I'm pretty sure every single team is looking forward to the playing in Goa. It's just the ambience, it's just the feeling, it's Goa. It's the place to be, especially in January if you want to avoid the cold in the north of India. Then Goa is definitely the place to be in. So this game, 0-0 inside the first few minutes. Junaid, you asked for my predictions. I'm going to return the favor, and I'm going to ask you for what you think might happen in this game.
I really hope Sports Odisha starts to build on some pressure or does well for the first half and see how things go for them. But the Sethu FC side is a pretty solid squad, especially with the incoming of Kajal D'Souza, the forward, as well as the joining in, coming in the shape of Berta Umita, who's joined from Kenya. Kajal, of course, was practicing in Spain at the La Liga Academy. She got into the squad and scored scored a goal in the game against East Bengal FC. And well, it's a pretty solid squad to say the least. And I won't be surprised if I get to see a few goals coming in the first half from Sethu FC. But Sports Orissa, they'll have to cut out those flanks. They were completely taken away by Gokulam Kerala from flanks, from left, right, and center, to be very honest with you, later on in the game. But yes, they'll have to strengthen that area.
Well, this immediately is much better already by Odisha. They're getting into the final third, something that was completely non-existent in that game against Gokulam Kerala. But this is where Sethu can be dangerous on the break, especially if Sports Odisha try and attack. We saw already last week, Junaid, that the defensive qualities, as especially down the wingback or fullback position, were very inconsistent. So I fear for Sports Odisha in the fact that perhaps Sethu might look to exploit that once again. But already 3.5 minutes in this game, Junaid, and there are better vibes to this Sports Odisha side, aren't there?
Well, that's right. I do see they are trying to move the ball a little bit quicker compared to their four fixtures they've played so far. And we do have some changes. That could be the difference. You never know. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But early on in the game, 4 minutes ticked off from the clock, and yet to see the deadlock broken. Sethu FC at the moment trying to control the things going forward, trying to get themselves on the ball. There's Manisha Nayak for Monica Mins. Monica weighing her options up front. Tried to get it through to the striker there, Subrata Sahu. Couldn't quite get the strike.
Well, Junaid, you were talking about 4 minutes in and there's yet a goal. You're just being greedy, aren't you? I mean, football, very few times you get goals inside the first 5 minutes, don't you? Last week,
Well,
there
I've
was an
seen.
exception, wasn't it? Gokulam against Odisha. That's why you're all excited about getting goals early on, aren't you, Junaid?
You've got me there. That's exactly the point that I was trying to make. The Gokulam game against Sports Orissa has actually got me way too excited going into this fixture. I want to see goals, but I would be really happy if there are some goals coming in from the girls in red.
So is that your prediction then? The girls in red, Sports Odisha to win the game?
It's not exactly 100% prediction. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get that right, but yes, I'm in for surprises. This is going to be a long league, perhaps 12 games. Still early days. We are in match week 5, game number 14. And well, yes, if they can go on and win this, then yes, it is really going to be good for the league because it's going to open up. There'll be chances for everybody around. I do understand the fact that Odisha FC, Sethu, Gokulam, Kickstart, they are pretty good outfits, but yes, I would want to see a lot more competition coming in from Sports Odisha.
Junaid, you're talking about surprises. I love surprises, and currently, I'm going to make this very brief, but currently the Gokulam men's side are beating Mumbai City by 1 goal to nil in the Kalinga Super Cup with 15 minutes left. So that's a bit of a surprise there for all of you. So, like I said, I do like surprises, and I do hope our men's team manage to spring a few surprises in the upcoming Asia Cup. But we're not going to get into any discussion about that. We are respecting the game, and of course, women's football, power to the women here at the IWL, and of course, in this game between Sethu and Sports Odisha, live from the iconic Tilak Maidan Stadium. It is one of those stadiums, isn't it, Junaid, that you see it from afar and you instantly recognize it because of the building at the very end of the ground, isn't it?
Well, that's right. Yes, it's been an iconic ground. Not just football. There have been, I'm not quite sure if there have been other sport played out here, but yes, as far as the history goes, it's one of the iconic grounds in the state, in the beautiful state of Goa.
It reminds me a lot of that Rayo Vallecano ground, Vallecas, where there is a wall at the end of the ground. I don't know if you know that Rayo Vallecano, the La Liga side. They also have a women's team, of course, and they have that wall at the end. So it reminds me a lot of that. To be fair, every time I commentate here in the Tilak Maidan Stadium, makes me feel like I'm in Vallecas for some reason or the other. Ball is with Sports Odisha. This is Hembram in the middle of the field, in the middle of the park. Ball now spraying it out wide. So 8 minutes in, Sports Odisha doing their job. Although, well, commentators cursed there. They nearly lose possession. They do, in fact, lose the ball, lose possession. This is a chance here for Sethu. And Sports Odisha eventually clear the ball away, hit the referee. And, well, ball will be a drop ball for for Sethu FC. So 8.5 minutes in, the league is starting to take shape already, isn't it, Junaid? With Kickstart and Odisha at the top, and with Gokulam in third place, Sethu lingering in the middle of the field. East Bengal, it looks like it's starting to divide itself already, isn't it? East Bengal, Hops, and Sports Odisha will be fighting for, not to go down, pretty much, and the rest of the
Well,
other four teams will be fighting for the championship. Is that correct to assume that?
well, that is actually because they have started to distance themselves from the rest, especially Odisha FC and Kickstart. It's going to be very interesting how the game pans out tomorrow between Gokulam and
Huh.
Kickstart. It's going to be one humdinger of a contest there in Kerala. But then again, yes, that's definitely one of those games wherein you try to gauge a team of their performances. Kickstart, well, they have won 3 games on the bounce, but tomorrow is just going to be a different day. A strike comes in from Sports Odisha from Subrata Sahu. Well, early signs there coming in from Sports Odisha. They've started this game pretty nicely. Nothing like we have seen in the previous fixtures involving Sports Odisha, trying to get on the ball, moving it pretty swiftly, getting to the other side of the pitch and taking shots on target. That was the first attempt there. A pretty controlled start to this game, and Sports Odisha are doing pretty well defensively, Joel.
Yes, they are indeed. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised that they've managed to correct the mistakes from the previous 8-0 drubbing against Gokulam Kerala. Because if they had been playing the same way, that would have said a lot about the coaching staff at Sports Odisha. But it also says a lot about the coaching staff at Sports Odisha that they've managed to amend the mistakes and mend their errors, mend their ways. And well, it's still early days. I mean, don't get me wrong. This game could still potentially end up uh, being a very lopsided, one-sided affair. But as of now, you can see the Sports Odisha head coach there. She's managed to get a message across to her players, and they're heeding her words. I don't think they heeded her words against Gokulam Kerala, and that resulted in the massacre at the EMS Stadium. We're going to call it that from now on, the massacre at the EMS Stadium, because that's what it was. It was not very nice viewing, to be fair, last week. That 8-0 drubbing, and it could have been more. Gokulam just lifted their foot off the pedal at the end for the last half an hour. They didn't want to cause any more damage to Sports Odisha, but it could have very well gone into double figures, to be fair, Junaid. But it's good to see that Sports Odisha have learned from that mistake, at least inside the first 12 minutes of this game. Sethu, to be fair with you, Sethu don't look like a team that are going to score a lot of goals. Don't do they, Junaid? I mean, they're not a team that's going to create a lot of chances. They're solid, they're difficult to beat, but they're not going to be scoring. Well, might be wrong here now. Chance for Sethu, ball into the box, opportunity. You see what I mean? The build-up play was just lacking there. They don't look like a team that are going to score a lot of goals, Junaid.
They did look like in the second fixture they played against East Bengal FC could also come down to a few defensive errors coming in from East Bengal. But yes, you rightly pointed out they haven't started on a pretty solid note as far as their goal scoring prowess is concerned. But well, today was the day they could have actually tested out that those build-ups, trying to get the ball there and then thereabouts, putting the defense under pressure. I'm pretty sure they might have had a look at some of the footage for the previous games Sports Odisha was involved in, and well, they have been exploited from the flanks, and we haven't seen those crosses coming in or even attempts to try and stretch out the defense of Sports Odisha so far. Yes, we'll have to wait and see if they get a few somehow, but the previous fixture, it was, there weren't enough chances created in the game against Odisha FC.
So, as always, your analysis of the game is on point. That's why I absolutely love doing commentary with you, mate, because your analysis is always on point and straight to the audience. Ball is with Sethu FC here, looking for a reverse pass now with number 32 Mundari for Sports Odisha. That's a decent ball there. They have possession once more. It's been a relatively it's been a very interesting game so far. I mean, it's very tactical, isn't it, Junaid, at this present moment in time?
Yes, and I'm pretty sure Pramita Seth would be very happy with the start she's got. They haven't scored, but they haven't conceded, especially if you take a look at the number of goals they've that they have conceded so far. There's a chance now! They survive somehow. Sethu FC was quick to spot there, Manisha. And didn't get her footing right behind that one. Good ball coming in, taking the entire defense out. In fact, toe pokes it in the end and couldn't quite beat the goalkeeper over there. That was the first proper chance there of the entire game, Joel, coming from Sports Odisha this time for a change.
It is. It was good. I mean, I'm thoroughly impressed with the way that they're playing today. It's refreshing. It's great to see the team bottom of the table trying to go toe to toe, head to head, shoulder to shoulder with one of the teams that were initially at the beginning of this campaign looking to win the league. Look at the possession, 59-41. But Junaid, remember what we always say: the possession doesn't matter. It's where you have the possession. And as of now, the most dangerous team, whether you like it or not, has been Sports Odisha. I mean, they've had less of the possession, less of the ball, but they've had the better chances tonight.
Yes, that's right. They've created two, actually. And They have that 41% of the possession in the final third, almost, I would say, because we haven't seen that A game from Sethu FC so far. Looks like there has been a foul conceded there, and a free kick has been awarded. So that's a point that I was trying to
The
make.
myth.
Sethu FC have got the ball, but they haven't made the most of it so far. 59% of the possession, but yet to see a clear-cut chance being created from them. They do have firepower, like we have always mentioned. There's Bertha Umita, there's Kajal D'Souza in the starting 11 today, but nothing tangible has come up so far for the first 16 minutes of the match.
I love the way that you use the words humdinger and tangible. It's just so eloquent, Junaid. It really is. So, ball with Sports Odisha. Janhavi with a shot, and that goes all the way to Kerala, I'm afraid. That went from Goa to Kerala. Ball now with Sethu, the goalkeeper. It is Anjila, the Nepali goalkeeper for Sethu FC. So it's been an interesting match. Like I said before, it's a very tactical game. Lots of chess pieces moving around, of course, and very little action for Sethu right now. But much better performance if we judge them by the previous games by Sports Risha. They are really they're really playing well here today in the Tilak Maidan Stadium. Like I said, this stadium, of course, home to Churchill Brothers and teams like Dempo, Vasco, and the list goes on and on and on. They've made the Tilak Maidan their home for many years. A place rich in footballing heritage, as Mr. Mourinho would like to say. Football heritage. So, Junaid, 17 and a half, 18 minutes gone, 0-0. What do you make of the scoreline so far? What do you make of the game so far?
Well, in terms of Sethu SP, from their perspective, well, that's a good ball played down to... That could have been way too dangerous in the end for Sports Odisha. Amrita Jeshi there, trying to go all the way through to the goalkeeper, but it could have just ended into the back of the net. Well, nevertheless, a corner conceded. It's going to be the first of the game for Sethu FC. Well, it's been a sedate start from Sethu's perspective. Sports Odisha, they have come with a proper plan, a proper homework, if I could call it. They haven't let anything from the sides come inside the box. There have been a couple of odd deliveries. Here's Amita with the ball. Has to go up. Shot taken and just wide of the post there.
That was
another
nearly
corner
the
on the other
commentator's curse
side.
there, Junaid.
That's absolutely right, Joel. There's another corner on the other side, I believe. Looks like she's struggling there. Limping, perhaps. Skavya Pakiraswamy, the player, trying to go for it. Right, here's Apurna Narzari with the second corner in the space of 2 minutes for Sethu FC. Sends it in, Apurna. Still with the ball, Sethu FC, back with Apurna. They're fighting hard, the girls in red. Clears out quite comfortably in the end. There's Manisha Naik ahead there. Can she get to the end of it? Fighting it out with the defense there. Does it well in the end, Ratna Halder. Tempo is slightly catching up now, Joel, at the 20th minute mark. But it's been good so far, so good for Sports Odisha.
It has been. I mean, the corner that we saw prior just hit the post, I think, hit the base of the post. So that could possibly classify as a chance for Sethu. But Sports Odisha are holding their own, keeping composure, keeping their wits about themselves, and they are impressing me so far, I have to say. Obviously, from what we saw before against Gokulam, I mean, it just couldn't get any worse than that, right? But this is not a bad performance so far. It's actually a pretty good performance from the ladies in in red. So well, it's going to be a corner kick now for Sports Odisha. So let's see what they have in reply to that corner from Sethu FC. It's going to be an outswinger. It's a bit of a breeze here in the Tilak Maidan Stadium. Ball gets played in. Cleared away though by Sethu. Only one player up front. There's no one there for the counter attack, and Sports Odisha closed the gaps almost immediately. Good defending that was. They're playing really well here today, Sports Odisha. I'm very happy to see that they learned from their previous mistakes. Of course, uh, Sethu is not the same as Gokulam attacking wise. They're more of an organized, disciplined team, perhaps, Junaid. Gokulam are more flamboyant when they go forward. They're more merciless, ruthless. When they smell blood in the sea, they will completely devour you and they won't take any pity over it. But what about Sethu? It's more of a how should I say? It's more of a mechanical build-up to the game. It's not as flamboyant. It's not as eye-catching to see, isn't it?
That's right. They haven't moved the ball quite well so far because they do have the likes of Apurna Nazarif who can operate from the flanks. Looks like they rammed into each other. There's Umita Barta there going against the goalkeeper and still seems to be down. Needs some medical assistance there. Like you rightly pointed out, we haven't seen that free-flowing football coming in from Sethu FC. There's been half of the first half that has been played out here at the Tilak Maidan and yet to break the deadlock. That's a rarity when you have Sports Odisha involved in this year's of the IWL. They've conceded 16 so far.
Junaid, don't do them dirty like that, Junaid, please.
No, I'm not. No,
Oh.
definitely, it's not going to be commentators' curse. I'm pretty sure they are going to put in some performance today.
Oh, the way you said that just made me chuckle. That it really did. It's surprising that it's 0-0 given that we have Sports Odisha. Come on. Oh,
Uh, I
Junaid.
I never
Your
meant
sense
to.
of humor
I
never
never
ceases to
meant to.
amaze me.
Look. There's no
No, but it's a
discounting
fact,
the endeavor of this team.
Junaid.
Yeah,
Junaid, but it's a fact, isn't it? From 4 games, they've conceded 16 goals. So that's 4 goals a game. That's roughly 1 goal every 20 minutes, if you think about it logically. 1 goal every around 22 and a half minutes. So they've already gone past the average median that it takes for them to concede a goal. So, yes, it's surprising, Junaid. You are completely right. There's nothing wrong with what you said. It's just, it just made me chuckle because you're right. It's what it is. Football is about statistics and about facts, and we're here to give you the cold, hard facts and the cold, hard statistics. Junaid is especially good at that.
I'm
Aren't
pretty
you, Junaid?
sure they might have had a look at the way Gokulam approached the game against Sports Odisha Sethu FC. And right, when they can score, then we do have that firepower sitting on the bench as well as in the 11, and we can get, because the reason I say that is because the teams that have started to distance themselves, well, they want to score as many as possible because in leagues like these, it's just going to be the goal difference at the end of the day, which will be of humongous importance. And the teams that are pretty strong would want to make that statement. And by the looks of it, well, I'm not discounting the endeavor of Sports Odisha. They're trying and battling it really, really hard. I mean, it's there for all of us to see. But yes, they've conceded 6. Here's a Sumitra Hembram trying to try
16, not
from
6.
the
16.
left. Oh, that's number 6 from Sumitra Hembram.
Junaid,
Yes.
Junaid, they conceded 16, not 6. So just clarifying that for you there. Oh, so 25 minutes in the game. It's 0-0 between Sethu and Sports Odisha. We do like to keep our commentary with a little bit of banter also involved because at the end of the day, it has to be as informative as ever. But yet again, Those are the cold, hard facts of the game. They've conceded 16 goals in 4 games, but today, let's talk about facts. Today, they've gone 26 minutes without conceding a goal, and it's a very impressive display by Sports Odisha. You have to give credit where credit is due, and you can also criticize when criticism is also due. That is part and parcel of being an elite athlete, an elite professional. You accept criticism and you take praise. So, I mean, obviously, there's going to be more criticism than praise at times. But yet again, when this happens, like today, they're playing really well. And we will be the ones to call that out and say, well done to Sports Odisha. They've learned from the mistakes from the last game. And that is very refreshingly nice to see, Junaid, isn't it?
Well, it is. They have addressed those mistakes because they've seen where the game went from in the previous fixture against Gokulam Kerala from the flanks, especially in the first half. And well, once they conceded six in the first half, it was dead and buried right then and there. And just from there on, picking yourself up and again a pretty strong side when you're playing away from home against Sethu FC, trying that sort of a performance, trying and putting up that sort of a shift is very commendable. Is Promita Seth with few more words on the brink of the drinks break. 27 minutes have been played here at the Tilak Maidan, and yet to see the deadlock broken. They've got a couple of shots on target, but haven't been able to score. Both the teams. Sethu FC would be a little bit disappointed at the moment because they should have scored or at least tried to get the ball in those dangerous areas inside the box. They haven't been able to do so.
You were talking, Junaid, as Sethu should have scored. To be fair with you, they haven't done anything to score a goal here today. They really haven't tested the keeper as such. They haven't penetrated the back line of Sports Odisha. They've been very disciplined, Sports Odisha. Again, credit to them for that today. They've defended really well. So, Sethu, I mean, there's no reason as to why they should be leading this game. Sports Odisha have had the better chance in the match. Sethu here, the opportunity. That's the best chance for Sethu there. But the goalkeeper came out rapidly and managed to save that with her feet. So, I mean, Sethu are not playing the way perhaps that they can play. Perhaps they're falling into the trap of this Sports Odisha side. So, well, 29 minutes gone in the game. It is 0-0 between Sethu and Sports Odisha. And it's been a rather entertaining game of football. Junaid, Sports Odisha, what are they doing right in this game?
Well, I think they have that communication back between the goalkeeper and the backline. Yes, there are a couple of changes as well because some fresh legs who want to make a point coming into this fixture, playing the first game of the IWL this season, and they have cut out the flanks. There's nothing coming in from either side for Sethu FC at the moment, and well, they're trying to win those 50-50 battles and getting the ball moving pretty swift towards the other side of the pitch. They have ticked all boxes so far. It's just the goal that hasn't come their way for Sports Odisha. But yes, they are definitely looking a much better, a much improved side compared to the previous fixtures.
I agree with you there. They're looking like a very improved side here today. It's always good to see a team progressing as the season goes along. Always good to see that. So we are live here from the Tilak Maidan Stadium. It is still a deadlock between Sethu FC and Sports Odisha. Opportunity there for Sethu. Good punch there by the goalkeeper, and eventually the ball gets cleared away. So, 31 minutes gone. Who do you think will be the happier of the two head coaches tonight?
Well, I think Promita Sid should be a bit more satisfied because obviously when you're coming on the back of a huge defeat and then seeing out the first set of 45 minutes, and as we speak about that, there's Berta Umita getting it inside the box. She's got presence of her teammates inside the box, but again they're cutting it out. That build-up was very short-lived, not even getting a shot on target there. Sethu FC one more time. Sports Odisha back again with the ball. Does brilliantly there. Monica Mins. Monica with options up front in Manisha Naik. There's Sonali with the ball now. Trying to operate from the left. Here's Berta Umita. Playing it on to Kavya Pakiriswamy. Kavya does enough to keep the ball just inside. Gets past the front. Gets the crossing chance now. Another one on the follow-up, but Lisham Babina couldn't quite get her footing right behind that one. That was a good play there coming in from Sethu FC Joel. Trying to build up from the left. Trying to exploit that flank. And this was for the first time. It did look like Sports Odisha couldn't quite cut that cross coming in from the left side.
Yeah, but that was a dreadful finish, wasn't it? I mean, it's not what you expect from a lady, an athlete at that precise moment there. I mean, she should have done better, shouldn't she? I mean, of course, the pressure, it's 0-0, you're playing in the IWL, one of the big teams in Sethu, and you're playing a game that you should be winning. And that opportunity arises from the penalty spot, and she should have had a little bit more composure there. Perhaps even taken a touch. She had ample enough time to take a touch in that instance, Junaid. So perhaps a little bit more composure needed in the final third for both sets of players. Corner kick now for Sethu. It will be number 31, Gavia, to take it. It's going to be an in-swinger. So decent ball in. Keeper flaps at it, gets a hand to it, and Sports Odisha have the ball once more. Another long pass looking for the striker. She can't get there, of course. Ball is back again with the goalkeeper. Composure. How important is composure in a game of football, Junaid? What do you think?
Well, that's pretty important there. You'll have to be a picture of concentration in moments like those because it opened up nicely for her. It was a follow-up and she wasn't under any sort of pressure there. Lisham Babina, she could have picked up her spot and went through, at least try and hit the target from those areas and make the goalkeeper work. Wasn't the case to be in that occasion. Here's Sumitra Hembram from the left, trying to get it inside the box. Defends again there, showing a bit more maturity and not letting her through.
You know what
Looks
this
pretty
looks
decent.
like,
The
Junaid?
only problem
Yeah,
going
sorry.
forward for Sports Odisha is they are not attacking in numbers because Manisha Naik for most of the last 20 minutes has been left alone there, and at times she's playing way too deep trying to win the ball. So that actually sums up the point. There hasn't been a proper link between the defense, the midfield, and the players playing further forward on the pitch. They're doing well defensively, but attacking wise, they aren't getting those balls. They did get a couple in the first 10 minutes or so, but in the last 15 minutes, well, that hasn't the case to be. Sorry about cutting you down there, Joel. Go on, please.
I'm used to it already, mate. It's fine. No, I'm just messing with you, Junaid. So what I was about to say is that this reminds me of a 1-0 game. Well, you know when you see those games and you're thinking, yeah, mate, this is gonna be a one goal game. Like one goal is gonna separate both of these teams. I mean, I might be completely wrong at the end of the match, but it looks like one of those games where one goal is just going to be enough for whoever scores it because they're both defending really well here today. Sethu, of course, are known for defending well. They have a very good back line. But Sports Odisha, like I said before, and kudos to them and their head coach. They've changed their approach for this game. They're defending nicely, defending in numbers, defending deep. It just looks like one of those matches where one goal is going to suffice to get the 3 points, tonight.
Well, that's absolutely right. Well, if I am Sports Orisa, for the 3 points, I will take it all day long. I'm not going to mess with it. Try and defend as much as you can. And whenever the opportunity arises, get the ball into the back of the net. That is exactly what I would be telling my players because 3 points is what they need at the moment. And 3 points would definitely do wonders to the confidence of all these girls involved today here at the Tilak Maidan. And as we speak about that, there's another build up from the left, trying to play it into the stride of Manisha Nayak there. Here's Sumitra. Gets dispossessed. Sethu FC on the ball. Keeps it nice and low for Apurna Narzari. Apurna, she's got options waiting inside the box. Tries to go back. Still with Sethu FC through Misha Bandari. Misha gets dispossessed. Falls to Apurna Narzari. Apurna tries to go inside the box. Does well the defense there and gets it out. They've got their backline sorted for this game. Sports Odisha, Joel, they are not letting Sethu FC create any more chances, especially when the balls are thrown inside the box.
Yeah, you are completely right, Junaid. I mean, Sports Odisha are defending really deep here. They're performing admirably, especially the back four, back five, including the goalkeeper, of course. I mean, they're keeping the lid completely shut in this game. Sethu really haven't. Yeah, of course, they've created one chance, which was half there and there, cum si cum sa. But they really haven't carved Sports Odisha open, have they, Janet? And that perhaps is the worrying factor for this Sethu side, that for their solidity at the back and for their stability with their back five, they do lack creativity and they do lack a lot of panache going forward. That's another word you can use, Junaid, moving forward. Panache. I know you like your words. So I mean they lack creativity. They lack that sort of energy when they reach the final third. And it's a shame because they have a very good solid back five. They just have to fix their starting or their front three or four, don't they?
Well, they have actually fixed it because if you remember the first game that we did against Gokulam FC, the opening day of the IWL this season, they struggled to get the ball moving and get it into the final third. They were defensively brilliant, but with the incoming players like Kajal D'Souza and Berta Omita, Apurna Narzari, yes, of course, she did play that game, but it hasn't been the quality, barring that one game in Kolkata against East Bengal FC. They haven't made those dreaded deliveries come inside the box and try and take it up from there. Well, I actually
But
thought that this could be the game. They would actually try and make things happen, try
uh,
and experiment something, utilizing the flanks and getting the ball into the box from right and left. But kudos to Sports Odisha. They haven't let that happen.
but with all due respect, Junaid, and I'm going to say this with all the respect in the world that I have for Sports Odisha, but Gokulam are not Sports Odisha in the sense of if Setu did not have the ball against Gokulam, That's kind of expected, isn't it? I mean, you kind of expect that you're going to struggle against the three-time consecutive champions. So you kind of expect that, but you don't expect a team like Sethu, who pre-season were billed as one of the favorites to perhaps win the title and challenge the likes of Odisha and Gokulam and the rest, to be struggling against Sports Odisha, who have conceded 16 goals in 4 games. That's an average of 4 goals a game, Junaid. I also know, apart from your words, you like your maths. So, chance! Oh! That was close there for Sports Odisha. Again, I mean, we're getting this from Sports Odisha, who have scored 1 goal all season and conceded 16, but we're not getting this attacking sense from Sethu. That is worrying. You said that they changed the whole attacking lineup and all that. Uh, to be honest, I think it really hasn't changed much because they can't get a hold of the ball. Now, the question for you, Junaid, is this because Sethu are not playing well? As you see a replay of that strike there by number 9, Kashmi. Is it because Sethu are not playing well, or is it because Sports Odisha are defending exceedingly well? What do you think?
Well, I think Sports Orissa are defending exceedingly well. And to be fair to you, yes, that's a very good point that you have made. If you can struggle against the likes of Gokulam Kerala FC, who are 3 times champion, but you can actually try and get the ball into those dangerous areas. Yes, possession-wise, you could be the second best on that day, but then again, you'll have to make things happen, especially when you are a champion team yourself. To remind our viewers, 2018 and 19 was the season when they won the championship. But today, yes, the point was spot on there. Sports Orissa looking a much better team. They've
And
had
that is
three
also very important.
chances.
Yeah, that is also
They've
very
had
important, Junaid, for our fans watching this game to actually understand this. It might not be that Setu are playing bad. It's just that Sports Odisha are really playing good today. We have to give Sports Odisha all the credit in the world. I mean, look at the possession there now. 53-47. It was something like 59-41 halfway through the first half. So Sports Odisha, as the game has gone on, they've gained confidence. They're getting better on the ball, and they are creating opportunities. I have to also say for Setu, their midfielder Omita, the Kenyan, she's been like John Cena, completely vanished from the equation. You can't see her. You can't see her at all in this game. She hasn't done anything. So that's another worry for Setu. That one of their foreigners is their goalkeeper, who really hasn't had much to do today, and the other one has barely touched the ball. That should be a worry for Seto, isn't it?
Well, yes, that's right. They'll have to try and get that sorted as soon as possible. We'll have to wait and see if there is going to be any sort of change coming in from Karan Priolkar. There was a chance, a shot there, a strike from the distance. Wasn't going to trouble Anjila Subba at all from that sort of a range. Yes, she hasn't been on the ball. She's been there and there about a couple of times, but those dreaded deliveries inside the box, well, that hasn't been coming from her thus far in the match.
And you see, Junaid, I'm sorry if I step in again, but the fact of the matter is, if you're a coach, okay, you want your foreign player because you have 2 spaces available for foreigners in the IWL. This is Wheaty there. You see what I mean? That cross is. I mean, let's be honest there. That was not what was needed. That was not good enough. It's nowhere near good enough for a foreigner to be putting those kind of crosses in. And I do emphasize the word foreigner because you have 2 spots available for foreigners, as you see, 3 minutes of added on time, and you expect those 2 foreigners to improve your squad. We saw that already with Gokulam Kerala, where they had their Ikwaput, the Ugandan striker. She's improved their squad. So you expect your foreigners to improve the squad. You don't expect them just to be, any other player, because for that you can just have 11 Indian players and that's it, Junaid. You understand what I'm trying to say, right? I mean, the foreigners have to stand out, and unfortunately, Owiti is not. Sorry, Omita. Sorry, not Owiti. Owiti plays for Gokulam. Omita is not standing out for Sethu right now. She's performing very very average, to be fair. What do you make of all that,
Well, that's
Junaid?
right.
Before we go into the
That's
halftime
that's
interval.
completely that's completely right. And 3 minutes have been added on. Yes, back the point that to make that having the day so far for Umita, especially when you are an international player playing in the IWL. A lot is expected out of you to try and improve the performance of the entire team, whether it's in between the sticks or going forward. Here's Manisha Naik trying to get inside the box. Manisha, well, she would have hoped for presence of a red shirt there inside the box. Wasn't the case to be. Another brilliant run coming in from wide on the left from Sports Odisha. It was Manisha Naik this time. They've got a few players sitting out on the bench. Sethu FC. There's Kushbu there. There's Priyanka Devi, who scored a brace in the fixture against East Bengal FC. She's on the bench. There's Malvika. There's Geeta Rana, the Nepalese girl. They do have
Is it a
players who
question?
can come back and make the difference.
Yeah,
Go on, Joel.
Junaid, is it a question of perhaps they're taking this game too lightly? I mean, you mentioned all those players on the bench, which usually would be starting for Setu, uh, especially Gita, the Nepali midfielder. Is it a question of perhaps that they're taking this game too lightly? They saw the standings and thought, well, they conceded 16 goals. They've only scored once. They're not really going to do any damage. I mean, if I am brand new to the IWL and I log on to the YouTube channel, either at the Indian women's football or Indian football channel at YouTube, and I see this game, I'm thinking, well, Sports Odisha are the team in blue, and Setu are the team in red, because the team in red is playing much better than the team in blue. So I mean, it's kind of weird, but well, halftime interval is here. 48 minutes have been played. It's 0-0 between Setu and Sports Odisha. Not the result that Setu would have been hoping for at the halftime interval. Sports Odisha will be absolutely delighted. Junaid, it's over to you, my friend. Your love for stats, maths, and the English vernacular never ceases to amaze me. So we're going to leave you now with the stats. So do take it from here.
Well, thank you, Joel, on that. Right, here's are the halftime stats. 50% of the possession, exactly half, was enjoyed by both the teams. 5 shots coming in from Sports Odisha with 1 landing on target. Just 2 from Sethu and 1 on target. 2 fouls for Sethu FC and 3 for Sports Odisha. No cards in the game so far. And 3 corners for Sethu FC in the first half compared to 2 for Sports Odisha. Babina and Kajol. Babina had a good chance there to get it into the back of the net. Couldn't quite get it goalwards. 2 shots for them. For Sports Odisha, 5 shots, 1 apiece for Hembram, Kumari, Monica Mins, Manisha Naik, and Shubhadra Sahu. 3 coming from inside the box. 2 fouls conceded by Sethu FC, Kajal, and Bertha Umita, conceding foul each. 3 for Sports Odisha in the first half. Kumari, Manisha Naik, and Amruta Naik with a foul each. It's been a good first half, first set of 45 minutes for Sports Odisha, but Sethu FC would definitely be a touch disappointed. Joel, what do you take of that?
I agree with you there completely, Junaid. We are going to be watching the highlights now. So we are going to leave all of our fans here on our YouTube channel with the highlights of that first half. And we will catch up with you after around 10-12 minutes after we, myself and my co-conspirator and partner in crime, Junaid Ahmed, have a cup of chai, a cup of coffee, and a few samosas and bhajis here and there. So, folks, we will be back with you guys for the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere. All still to play for in this game between Sethu and Sports Odisha. It's currently deadlocked at 0-0 here at the Tilak Maidan Stadium.
The next match on this ground will be on the 17th of January at 3:30 p.m. That will be Sethu FC taking on Kingston FC. Sethu FC taking on Kingston FC on the 17th of this month at 3:30 on this ground. Thank you.
Hello
So
and
we're back
welcome
here
back to
for
all.
the
Hello and welcome back
Junaid.
to all the viewers joining in. That's fine, Joel. We're back again live here at the Tilak Maidan. Sethu FC at home taking on Sports Odisha. It's been 0-0 so far at the end of the first set of 45 minutes. It's going to be an exciting second half as we see a couple of changes for Sethu FC. Joel, has been one of the best performances defensively from Sports Odisha. And how do you see the second half panning out for both the teams?
Well, it's a question of carrying on the same way for Sports Odisha. They they are the team, to be honest with you, that have played better football than Setu. So they are the team that are on the ascendancy in this game, so to say. Perhaps the break would have benefited Setu more than Sports Odisha. When you're playing well, like Sports Odisha were playing, you don't want the break to come your way. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this second half here today. So yeah, it's Setu nil, Sports Odisha nil. We're live here from the Tilak Maidan Stadium. So yeah, just to clarify, Junaid, I was not stuck before. But it's all well and good. It's fine. No problem, mate. I love your enthusiasm. I love your energy. So it's contagious. So all well and good, mate. All well and good. So we're back live here from the Tilak Maidan Stadium. 0-0 between Setu and Sports Odisha. There have been a few changes for for Setu FC. Obliged. There had to be changes for Setu FC. Will Junaid, did you manage to get the changes that were happening for Setu?
There's Priyanka Devi, who's in the line in the 11 now. Scored a brace in the previous fixture against East Bengal FC. The match before that, beg your pardon. But Omita, like you pointed out, wasn't contributing enough, has been taken off. There's Misha Bhandari as well, who's made out of the starting 11. The 11 that started the game. Not quite sure who has got on the pitch in place of her. We'll get the confirmation in a bit. But at the moment, it's Sethu FC. Geeta is out there. Geeta Rana, the Nepalese girl.
I'm glad I was not the only one that saw that Omita was not contributing anything to the game. She was completely vanished from this match. And to be fair, you know, if you can't contribute to your team playing against the side that's rock bottom in the side, as we see Priyanka coming on for Omita. So if you can't contribute to your team playing against the side that's rock bottom, then how do you expect to contribute against better sides? That's going to be a bone of contention for the Setu FC head coach to try and deal with in posterior games. Of course, it's a 12-match season, so they've played 3. That's another chance there for Sports Odisha. That was not bad there. That was a decent opportunity for the ladies in red. Like I said, they're playing the better brand of football here, Sports Odisha. They are playing much, much better than what we perhaps were used to in the previous 4 games that they played. And to be honest, the first 45 minutes should be the blueprint for as to how they have to play moving forward. It really should be that blueprint that they should be solid defensively. They should be compact, and then try and hit teams on the counter attack. And that's what they've done in this first half. Long may it continue if you're a Sports Odisha fan or if you're a Sports Odisha coach. Long may it continue. 0-0 between Sethu and Sports Odisha. Ball gets played in. Keeper makes a little bit of a meal of that. Gathers it at the end. So 0-0. Junaid, second half underway. Plenty of time for either of these two sides to find a goal, to find an opportunity. Here comes Sethu though on the charge. Almost immediately you feel that Sethu, the vibe has improved, doesn't it?
There seems to be some sense of urgency coming into the Sethu FC 11 there. Trying to get the ball from work it actually from left and right. And they've looked good for the couple of minutes here in the second half, getting one shot goalwards coming in from Priyanka. Was that a good game against East Bengal FC, Priyanka? Scored a brace as Manisha Naik trying to chase it down. Couldn't quite get there. Here's Sonali on the ball from the left. Decides to go back. Goes through with the shot. You saw the goalkeeper was a little bit off the line maybe, and decides to go. Well, there's one good thing that you see in Sports Odisha FC, beg your pardon, Sports Odisha at the moment is they do have some players, a couple of them, who are playing further along with Manisha. Here's Kajal D'Souza, tries to get inside the box, but chance and a goal there for Sethu FC. Kavya getting on the score sheet at the 50th minute mark. Well, that was a good finish in the end. Kajal D'Souza with a lob down the far post, and Kavya Pakiriswamy had a lot to do. Gets it goalwards, gets a header, and the goalkeeper was wrong-footed there and had no option at all. Well, Joel, did we see that coming in this match? Because Sports Odisha has definitely looked a better team for the first 48 minutes or so.
It's a big bucket of cold water being poured over you in a icy winter Norwegian day. That's what these Sports Odisha ladies will be feeling right now. It was not good goalkeeping either, and it was not good defending. We've been praising the defending for Sports Odisha all this first half, and well, that was poor to say the least. And the goalkeeping, she didn't move her feet quick enough. She didn't dive down. I mean, a lot of things went wrong there for Sports Odisha, and just two things went right for Sethu: the cross and the finish. So yeah, I mean, it does go a little bit, perhaps, and this might be shocking for people, but it does go a little bit against the grain, a little bit against the run of play. Sports Odisha were competing better than Sethu, and well, interesting to see how they react to this. Whether Sethu will be happy with a 1-0, I don't think they will. I wouldn't be for sure. Or whether Sports Odisha that will revitalize them and they will continue playing the way they're playing and creating chances. For Sethu, again, will the floodgates open? Will Sports Odisha's very thinly veiled confidence crumble like a pack of cards? Or will they just find some sort of energy from all this? Questions, Junaid. Tons of questions we don't have any answers to as of yet, but we will in the next 40 minutes or so.
Well, that's right. And they have moved the ball a bit swiftly since they have come on from the break, Sethu FC. And that goal there was one of those signs of getting it into those spaces in the final third. A good cross coming in from Kajal D'Souza. And all Pakiriswamy, Kavya Pakiriswamy had to do was get it goalwards. And that's exactly what she did. Goalkeeper could have done better, as you rightly pointed out. Well, do we have an instant response coming from Sports Odisha? We'll have to wait and see. Or would they crumble to the pressure that will be exerted from here on? Because Sethu FC, I'm pretty sure they won't keep quiet with just one goal. Here's another opportunity now. Goes through with the strike. Rattles the woodwork. Kavya was there for a follow-up, but held well in the end by the goalkeeper. The chances are coming thick and fast now. Then the second half for Sethu FC. Kajal D'Souza there with that strike. And Sports Odisha have just survived.
Well, that's what they're doing right now, isn't it? They're kind of just surviving at the moment. A far cry from what we saw in the first 45 minutes. So again, the whole atmosphere, the whole panorama of this game has changed for for Sports Odisha. Does look like a different team. Just Sethu, they've made the changes. I did tell you they needed some changes at the halftime interval because it was just not going well for them, was it? It really wasn't going well for them at all. So I'm glad that they somehow managed to react to that, and Sethu, of course, now on the ascendancy, playing the much better, attractive football. But again, it will be interesting to see what happens in the next 40 minutes or so, give or take some injury time here and there. So it's going to be still a lot to play for in this particular game. Junaid, I mean, look at that. Sethu once again with another chance here to make it to that cutback was poor there. What do you do if you're Sports Odisha at the moment? What do you do?
Well, try and be in the game for as long as you possibly can, because if you let the floodgates open at the moment, then it's just going to be curtains even before the next 15-20 minutes or so. There's another change, perhaps the first one for Sports Odisha. Pratima is coming on in place of number 6, Sumitra Hembram. They'll have to
Is that
try
an
and
attacking
dig deep,
change, or?
try and...
Yeah, Junaid, I was just asking you, is that an attacking
That
change?
was an attacking change. Pratima Oram plays forward. So I'm pretty sure they are eyeing for a goal there, and eyeing for an equalizer. Pratima plays as a forward. Sumitra Hembram for most of the first half was playing wide on left.
Well, they have to eye an equalizer. They've got no other alternative at the moment. They're losing the game. The whole game plan of trying to keep it tight and going for the draw, as their head coach always tries to emphasize, has gone flush down the window. So they obviously have to change. Something has to change to Sports Odisha, and now they have to attack, which is something that they're not particularly good at, are they, Junaid? 1 goal in 4.5 games.
Well, they have struggled, and they have struggled big time in all those games they have been part of, because 4.5 games with just 1 goal coming in from Rashmi Kumari against Kickstart, and barring that, they haven't moved the ball well enough in the final third. Here's Pratima Oram straight away getting into the action from the left. They'll have to believe much more in this fixture, because 1-0 lead could always be slender in the end, and one good chance, one shot on target, making the goalkeeper work. That is exactly what something Sports Odisha would be hoping for at the moment. Like I mentioned earlier, there's no discounting the endeavor of these players. They all want to do well, they all want to play well, perform there for their club, but for some reason, it's just not clicking for them at the moment or in this league. Here's a corner for Sports Odisha. Here comes the ball, taken away by Apurna Narzari. Here's Kajal D'Souza. Gets the better of a couple of wretches there. Here's Apurna again, back with Kajal. Weighing her options, going forward, Kajal D'Souza plays it through the left. There's a run being made towards the left side by Kavya. Couldn't quite held on to it. Manages to hold the possession and gives it to Sonali. Chance now and hits it over. Looks like the offside flag was up there against Kajal D'Souza there. Good transition from defense to attack there, Joel, from Sethu FC.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's decent football by Sethu, and it's just that Sports Odisha at the moment, I think they are having flashbacks of that Gokulam game. To be fair, they are really in fear of perhaps um, opening themselves up and attacking with a little bit more emphasis. They really are fearful of that because they know that defensively they haven't been sound all tournament. That's a decent chance though. She gets bundled over. It's a penalty, oh my word! Oh, Junaid! Out of nowhere, like one of those RKOs that Randy Orton just all of a sudden pulls out in WWE. Out of nowhere, it's a penalty kick for Sports Odisha. And the referee has just blown his whistle. And to be fair, I can't quite believe that. Can you?
Well, I'm pretty sure the moment Pratima Oram went down there, a lot of Sports Odisha fans would have been praying deep inside their hearts that the referee decides it in their favor. And after a tough, hard look for a couple of seconds there, the ref deciding and giving a penalty for Sports Odisha.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So penalty kick here now for Sports Odisha. Chance to level the game back. Oh my word, no! Heartbreak for Sports Odisha, the best chance they are ever going to get. And they put it wide. I think, to be fair with you, Junaid, justice has been done there. Because to be very honest with you, I don't think that was a penalty. That was a very, very soft penalty. And I think justice has been done, however cruel that may sound.
It looked like a bit soft in the end, the way she went down. And, well, you'll have to try and hit the target. I'm not quite surprised. I'm quite surprised, actually, why Manisha Naik didn't go for that one. But they decided to go with Rashmi. The best thing she could have done was try and keep it goalwards. And a realistic chance there to come back into the game. It would have definitely made for a frantic set of 30 minutes, 31 minutes or so, but wasn't the case to be.
It's a very poor penalty, Junaid. It's a very, very poor penalty kick, and I mean you can almost see why Sports Odisha are in the predicament they're in the league. You can almost see that. I mean, they've only scored one goal in 4.5 games. You can see that. Why? The reason why. I mean, they keep on getting chances and they keep on squandering those chances. Then you're never going to win a game of football in your life. And that's the predicament they're in right now. No matter how many opportunities they're given or gifted, they still can't take control of that. And that is something that they have to work in as a team. They have to get their mojo back. They have to go down to the training ground and put in the hours and put in the hard work and the grind. And they just have to improve that because the finishing is definitely not up to standard, Junaid. I mean, that was... It almost felt as if myself, as a commentator, as a neutral, like my heart was breaking at the moment. Because you almost want, like, the underdog to at least put up a fight and, to get back into the game. And we all love those kind of games, don't we, Junaid, where the underdog takes the better side to the grill and to the almost to the edge. And we almost wanted that to go in, but in the end, I think, to be fair, justice was served because that was, in my view, never a penalty kick in a million years. Ball now for Sethu coming forward. Nice little run there, mazy run, defending there by Sports Odisha. That is something they've done well, haven't it? Defending today, Junaid.
Well, that's right. And you've taken words out of my mouth there because you would always want the underdogs to perform well against big clubs. And, well, that was definitely a heartbreaker for a lot of people watching this game. 1-1 at 60-minute mark could have been I'm not saying they would have gone on to win the game. They could have been a fight for sure, but an equalizer would definitely have given them a bit of hope, a chance to say the least, to make a strong comeback in the game as well as in the league.
Well, they're still in this game. It's just 1-0, and the longer it stays 1-0, the more the more nervous Sethu are going to get, because things like that can potentially happen out of nowhere. So, I mean, they really need to put a little bit of distance between themselves and Sports Odisha for their own sakes. Of course, if you're a neutral, you don't want that to happen. You want it to be as close as possible, and you want to see whether Sports Odisha can mastermind some sort of a comeback in this game. I mean, that is what, as a neutral, you want to see. Of course, if you're a fan from Sethu, from Tamil Nadu, all the way from Madurai, then that's the last thing you want for your team to be. But again, I'm talking about Sethu now. We've been waxing lyrical about Sports Odisha's defending today. Sethu's attack, it hasn't been clinical, has it? It's been very lackluster at times, hasn't it, Junaid?
They have looked a little better since Priyanka has come on the pitch. She's controlling the midfield, trying to drill the balls wide on the left, try and getting Kavya involved on most occasions there. But yes, going forward, they haven't looked like a team that we've all known Sethu for. But, well, could just be the day. The only thing that surprises me at the moment is they are not going for more goals. They're getting in there and thereabouts, but not taking those shots on target. It may come down to some good defensive display, some resilient display coming in from Sports Odisha, especially in the first half. But yes, you'll expect much better from the likes of Sethu FC.
So there you have it from the expert himself. You expect a little bit better from Sethu FC. I'm pretty sure all of us were expecting Sethu to perhaps run away with this game, given Sports Odisha's recent woes in this competition. It hasn't happened. It's been tight. It's been very tight indeed. But here comes Sethu once more. But again, good clearance there by Sports Odisha. Good defending. It's just one of those games where, like I said previously in the first half, it looks like it's going to be one of those one-goal games where you just get a one goal in the match, and you don't really get anything else happening. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sethu will be happy with a win, no matter how it is. But they would like a bigger score, wouldn't they, Junaid?
They'd love to have a bigger score, especially today. Now, don't have a go at me for pointing out Sports Odisha again, but yes, the way they have played, yes, they have looked a better team, Sports Odisha, thus far. But Sethu FC, well, in leagues like these, you'll have to have that goal difference, which could turn out to be way too critical towards the business end of the competition. It was just a goal that was separating Kickstart and Odisha FC, beg your pardon, until the last night, where Odisha FC managed another 3 points against Hop. They're sitting right on top with 12, followed by Kickstart. Sethu at the moment with 4 points on 4th position. Sports Odisha at the bottom of the table so far. 4 games and 4 defeats on the bounce. Still got about 23 minutes and a thick bit left in the match to sort of make a comeback and try and get that confidence back for the remaining games. Here's Subrata Sahu with a strike from distance. Was always going wide there, not troubling the goalkeeper at all. That was the second shot taken by Subrata Sahu. The chances that seem to be created in the first half by Sports Odisha, well, they are trying from distance, but nothing seems to be clicking at the moment because even those deliveries moving forward have stopped coming in inside the second half. Does that goal has a lot of say in the way they are thinking at the moment? Because you will be vulnerable if you come back from a huge defeat in the previous fixture, but that is something they'll have to put it behind their backs and still try and make things happen, especially coming forward.
I mean, I don't think it changes anything for Sports Odisha. They come into this game as underdogs. Perhaps would expect to be losing this game, so nothing really changes. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, losing 1-0 when you have when you're drawing, I'm gonna try and speak from a perspective of a coach. I hope you understand me, and so do the viewers. When you're drawing, you have something to hold on to. You have something to play for. So you have something that you can defend. You have a point. The moment you're losing, you already are losing. So you have nothing to lose in that kind of sense. I hope you and the fans can understand what I'm trying to say. So nothing should really change the Sports Odisha. They were expected to perhaps be in the situation far earlier than they have been. Um, but if I were their coach, I mean, just just go for it. Don't sit back and defend. It doesn't matter if you lose 1-0 or if you lose 4-0. End of the day, a loss is a loss. Yes. So and given the predicament that they're in right now, where they haven't won a single game and they're rock bottom, and it looks like they're going to be finishing last in the league. So it doesn't really matter whether you lose 1-0 or you lose 4-0. Just have to give it a go. You have to go for the game. Obviously, if Rashmi had scored that penalty, sorry, then things would have changed. You have a draw again. You have something to cling on to. You have a result to cling on to. But a 1-0 loss is not a result you want. I mean, you can be happy with the performance because it's not 8-0 like it was against Gokulam, but still it's a loss. You don't want that to happen time and time again. So I hit a crossbar there. That was a decent effort there. So you have nothing to lose. So my suggestion is attack, attack, and attack. There's no other way around it. But look at that. That's interesting. Sethu, 5 shots, Junaid. Sports Odisha, 8. It just shows that they have tried to attack. They have had their chances. Just haven't taken a single one of them. And that, my friends, is where their woes lie. They can defend. They've shown that today. But they cannot score a goal. And that's the problem, Junaid.
Well, that's exactly right. And they have struggled scoring goals in this league, this edition, beg your pardon, and just one goal in the previous 4 fixtures. And that is something they would want to try and do better in the coming games. There was a chance there with the penalty. It's the same player, Rashmi Kumari, who scored that only goal for Sports Odisha, not being able to convert on that occasion. They have
Isn't
got the
there
ball
that
in
song,
decent areas
Junaid?
at times. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, isn't there that song that says, "Things can only get better"? Well, that right now is a motto for Sports Odisha. They should be playing that in the dressing room every game before the game and a half time. Things can only get better. I mean, it just literally can't get any worse than what it is right now. They've played 5 games with this one included. They've conceded 17 goals. So I mean, they've only scored one. So things can only try and get better from here. I mean, and to be fair, with this performance today, things have got a little bit better, given their performance against Gokulam last week. Sorry, Junaid. I mean, I interrupted you. You're probably going to say something really interesting. So if you want to carry on with that, feel free to do so.
Well, that's right. I mean, the only point that I was trying to make was it hasn't been a bad performance from them, though they have conceded. They've lost 4-0
At all.
to their state rivals in Odisha FC, and then that was followed up by a 2-0 defeat at home against East Bengal FC, then away in Bangalore They lost 2-1 to kickstart, and then in the previous fixture against Gokulam Kerala FC in Calicut, it was a nightmare for them. So, plus they have managed to hit 8 shots, goalwards, with a few of them landing on target. Yes, they have missed out on a penalty, but it's definitely one of those performances that should spring in some sort of hope going forward in their remaining fixtures for Sports Orissa.
If they can somehow manage to fix this attacking problem that they have, this goal scoring problem that they have, I genuinely think that if they play like this, like today against Sethu, and like a couple of weeks ago against Kickstart, where they lost 2-1 only, let's not forget that Kickstart are a very good side, and they only beat Sports Odisha by 2 goals to 1. So let's just take it into account, into perspective. Let's just for one second, Junaid, consider last week's game and result a complete freak accident, a complete freak result. It's not going to happen every week for Sports Odisha, is it? So if they can somehow manage to improve their, or fix or improve, whatever word you want to use, their attacking setup, and start converting their chances, then I think they have a pretty decent chance of stealing points from other teams in the league. I don't think they're going to end with 0 points this season. I really don't, and I really hope not, because obviously the effort put in by the young ladies here in red is is commendable. But I do think that if they perform like they performed today, consistently throughout the season, they can cause problems to any single side. And that is a positive that they, as a team, and their head coach can take perhaps from this game, that their performance today has been very, very good. They just haven't taken their chances, Junaid.
Well, that's right. There is definitely a glimmer of hope after this performance coming in from Sports Orissa. And yes, if they can fix their attacking prowess going forward in the games, then and put in the type of defensive display that was there for all of us to see in this fixture, they can definitely be a very decent outfit. They still have games against Hops, against East Bengal. Obviously, that's a reverse fixture there. But yes, they can try and make a strong comeback. Try and get a few points, a couple of draws in, and see how things pan out. But still struggling for the first point. Sports Orissa. Here's Kajal D'Souza again, trying to battle it out against Amruta Nayak there. Amruta gets the better on that occasion. Gets it out for Subhadra Sahu. Subhadra to Monica Mins. Monica with the ball, with a lovely, delightful ball. Trying to play in Manisha Nayak. Manisha again there with Sonali Chemte. Sonali goes to the ground, and a cross was what was needed there from Manisha Nayak. There was presence of the
little bit
red
of
shirt inside the box.
a little bit of cramp there. It is. I have to say, I'm going to be very honest here again. It is very warm here in Goa, um, and even though you can see a little bit of a breeze there, but it's very warm. And obviously, cramps they happen because of the heat and the sweat and the fluids leaving your body. Your body starts to freeze and starts to like cramp up, as we like to say. So fluids need to be taken in by both sets of players here to try and avoid that. A lot of salts, of course, and that's what the physios are there for. Again, praise to the physios, to the ladies and men working behind the scenes for both teams, and obviously for all the teams in the league. It's a very how should I say? It's a very ungrateful job. You do your job, but no one really takes notice of you. And it's not very easy to keep everyone fit and ready for all the games. So kudos and praise to all the physios and backroom staff, the masseurs and so forth, taking care of all these professional young ladies who are competing at the highest level possible in Indian football. Of course, in this IWL 2023-2024, it's a fantastic edition. Of course, it's the first time ever in the IWL that we're having home and away games. Junaid, it's been exciting so far, traveling to the different destinations, to Calicut, to Goa, to Kolkata, to Bhubaneswar, to the Bangalore, of course, a tech city in India, the Silicon Valley of India. It's been fantastic. To Delhi, of course, for hops. It's been an experience, hasn't it?
Well, it has really been coming from a centralized format in the previous editions to a home and away format this year. It has been really good. The players are enjoying it because it adds a different value to the entire league. And at the moment, Sports Odisha are trying to chase this down. 1-0 lead is what we have at the moment in favor of Sethu FC. Here's Sethu again with the ball, trying to get inside the box. Priyanka Devi there, trying to hit it on the counter. Couldn't quite get the connection right. Gets dispossessed, and away it goes. There's just Manisha Naik playing up front. All the other players are defending for Sports Odisha. They'll
Remember,
have to
Junaid, what
try
I said
and
in the
bring
first
it
half.
forward.
Yeah, just remember, Junaid, what I said in the first half about this game being a one-goal game. I did tell you it has that feeling of it just being a one-goal game and bus enough. That's it, done. So it really does get that feeling, and of course, the experience of years watching football and coaching at different levels, both in my home country in Gibraltar, in the UK, in Spain, and also in India. I've been in India for already 8 years, Junaid. It's a pretty long time. So all that, I mean, you can almost tell the pattern of a game just from the kick start. And this game had 1-0 written all over it. But the question was for who, Junaid? I could have been wrong. Sports Odisha could have scored that penalty. We still have 10 minutes left, don't we? So things can still happen in 10 minutes, can't they, Junaid?
It certainly can. But for that, there'll have to be performances coming in from the midfield to try and feed the likes of Subhadra and Manisha Naik. And that is exactly something we haven't seen, especially since they have conceded that goal. Here's Kavya Pakiriswamy, the goal scorer, operating from the left. Goes back to Sonali Chemte. Sonali there winning it back. Still Sonali deciding to go backwards. Trying to control the ball at the moment. Maybe they are actually trying to settle down for a 1-0 lead and try and grab those 3 points. Here's Priyanka trying to get Kavya involved again. It's Kavya. Priyanka again, keeping it nice for number 12 there. Who's come off from the bench onto the pitch, Geeta Rana, and looks like that's going to be the first caution of the game, Joel. Going towards Sports Odisha.
Yeah, that was a free kick. I don't know about the yellow card, but we're gonna see it again here. Yeah, okay, fine. That could be a yellow card here and there. Halder shown the yellow card there by the referee. You were saying something interesting there, Junaid, about perhaps Sethu being happy with a 1-0 win. That possibly could be the worst mindset to have for the last 10 minutes of this game, because that automatically relaxes you, automatically, how shall I say, makes you drop your guard because you're winning by 1 goal. And it could be dangerous to just be happy with a 1-0 win. Of course, if it finishes 1-0, Sethu are going to be delighted. They got another 3 points into their kitty, into their bag, and they'll be very happy with that. But as things stand at the moment, Sports Odisha are taking this game to the 50th over. If you can compare that to whatever we are witnessing here today, they're taking it deep, And they might not get a result from this, but they are taking it deep. And that is something that you have to praise them, you have to commend them for. Sethu, of course, will be looking for a second goal as soon as possible. It hasn't happened yet. They really want that second goal to just try and calm their nerves down. Priyanka will be taking this free kick now from maybe 25 yards out. Number 10, Priyanka. And that's safely into the breadbasket of the goalkeeper. So remains 1-0, Junaid. Sethu 1, Sports Odisha 0.
That's right. Like you rightly pointed out, they are trying to take it to the 50th over. A good analogy there that you have drawn. But the question remains, do they have a Mahendra Singh Dhoni in their squad to finish the game in the 50th over?
Or a Jasprit Bumrah to bowl them out.
Maybe.
Oh, you'll never know.
That's right. 85 minutes have been ticked off. And it's still 1-0 here to Sethu FC at the Tilak Maidan in Goa. Battling it hard from the get-go are the girls in red. Here's Kajal D'Souza with a good ball, trying to find Kavya Pakiri Swami from the left. Driving it inside the box, gets the cross in. There was presence of the blue and pink shirts there, but was a bit close to the goalkeeper on that occasion.
Yeah, it was. But the build-up play once again by Sethu was pretty decent. That was pretty good. Sethu are a well-oiled team, a well-drilled side. Here comes Sports Odisha. Opportunity into the box. Cuts it back. Oh, the drama. Oh, like I said, that was a shout for LBW there. And it didn't materialize, but the pressure is still on. Sports Odisha are still fighting hard in this game. And that was so close tonight.
Well, rightly said, that was way too close there. Tantalizingly close, in fact. A goal here at the moment.
Umpire's call? Was that the
would have
umpire's
definitely, maybe, you're right there. Would have definitely made things a little more interesting going forward, especially for Sethu FC. Well, it's time now for Sethu to try and get their second one and put this game to bed. Hasn't happened for them so far. Have been trying, knocking on the door consistently. It's just been Sports Odisha's day, the way it has summed up so far. Missing out on a penalty and that strike, which could have gone anywhere, went out for a throw-in instead. There's another change. Line up. A couple of them, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see who are going to come on.
But that's the thing, isn't it, Junaid? It's just this 1-0 scoreline is just so precarious. It's so... It's just not a safe position to be in. You are constantly on edge, as we see the two substitutions, Malavika coming on. So it's Sethu perhaps trying to seal the game with those two subs, aren't they, Junaid?
That's right. Malvika plays as a forward in this unit, and there was Daya Devi with her first touch and getting it goalwards there. They really want to try and get that second goal and secure those 3 points. It was more of a heart in the mouth sort of a moment when Sports Odisha got forward and got that shot goalwards in the last couple of minutes. Here's Manisha Naik again, trying to make that run inside the box. Wasn't a good delivery at all.
But you see, that's all it
Joel,
takes.
if you...
It just takes one moment for
exactly,
them
that's the point
to get back into the game. So you were going to ask
that's
me
the
something,
point
Junaid.
that we were... That's right. That's the point we were trying to make. If you are in the coach's position of Sports Odisha, would you be happy with your overall performance that the girls have shown up today? Because 1-0 lead, 1-0 defeat, if at all it may happen, then it's definitely not a bad result. especially the way they have performed this season. They can be
You see,
better
as
going forward, but
huh,
yes,
you see, as a coach, I won't be happy with the result because obviously I always strive to get 3 points in any game that I play. Look. You play to win. You don't play just to compete. That is the biggest, a load of nonsense that I've ever heard in my life. When someone says, "Oh, at least they competed. They participated." That's just nonsense. As a human being, you want to be the best possible at everything that you do. I remember a saying, and I always have this engraved in my head by Muhammad Ali, the famous boxer. Obviously, before that, he was Cassius Clay. He always used to say, even if I was a road sweeper, I would strive to be the best road sweeper in the world. So, you wake up in the morning, and if you're a competitive person like I am, you always strive to win or to be better or to achieve success in whatever field that you're in. And in this case, as a coach or as a professional athlete, like the young ladies here from Sports Odisha, you always strive to win. You don't go out there thinking, okay, let's compete, let's participate, let's see how things are going to go. Because if you think like that, you're never going to become a professional athlete. It's as simple as that. So, will I be happy with the result? No, I wouldn't be because it's a loss. But if you ask me whether I would be happy with the performance, well, given what we saw last week against Gokulam, I'll be absolutely thrilled with the performance because there's something to build on here. There are building blocks. There is a good defensive unit. There is an attacking unit that looks raw and has a sense, a glimmer of talent that maybe you can work with. So yes, I hope that answers your question. I won't be happy with the result, obviously, because I don't want to lose. I hate losing, but I'll be reasonably pleased with the performance given how they have played over the course of the previous 4.5 games.
beautifully summed up there. And 4 minutes have been added on as injury time, as Sports Orissa made one more change. There's Premisla Lugun, who's out there in the middle. Had a good game, Premisla, in against East Bengal FC. Came off from the bench and tried to make things happen. But here's Sports Orissa, trying to play it towards Manisha Nayak, who's been their silver lining so far going forward. Goes back to Monica Mins, the skipper. Tries to lob it inside the box. There've been some shouts there for getting it goalwards or into those dangerous areas just outside the 6-yard box. The defense was right in there. There's Manisha again, trying to drive in from the right. Manisha still with the ball, goes to the byline, cuts it back, taken away by the defense. Here's number 23, Pratima Rana. Beg your pardon, that's Daya Devi, number 23 for Sethu FC, as one of the players for Sports Orissa has hit the ground and needs some attention. 2 minutes and a bit to be played out here at the Tilak Maidan in Goa. Looks like there was a shove in the back there coming from Sethu player.
They are losing the game, so the quicker she stands up, the better it's going to be for her team. I mean, and if she's injured, just go off, make a sub, just make it quick because their team needs. They have the momentum right now, and this is damaging their team. So if she cannot stand up and walk outside the pitch, then she really has to get off because their team needs to continue with the momentum. Perhaps we hope that the injury is not as severe as her grimaces of pain in her face suggest. But let's just see. It doesn't look like it's a good. It looks like it's a knee, Junaid. Perhaps a twisted knee. She fell, not fell, but she landed a bit awkwardly on that knee. So let's hope it's nothing too serious.
Well, that's right. Looks like it's Subhadra Sahu, who's a player who went down there, posed that challenge coming in from right. There's the forced change there. Number 20, Bharti Das, has made her way out there in the middle in place of Subhadra Sahu. Here's Premisla there, getting dispossessed. Back with Sports Sethu FC, beg your pardon. Trying to drive it from the right, straight at the defense of Sports Odisha. Ratna Haldar. Gets the first touch, Bharti Das there. Gets it towards Amrita Jeshi. Amrita on the ball. Priyanka there, driving through. Here's Manisha cutting it inside the box. Manisha. They are defending in numbers now, Sethu FC. They know the importance of these 3 points going forward in the league. Just don't want to give anything away at the moment, Sethu. Here's Kachal D'Souza to Daya Devi. Daya gets dispossessed there. Back again with Sports Odisha through Manisha Nayak. A 1-0 defeat. If you are Kanan Priolka, how do you see this victory in your favor, Joel?
Well, if I'm the head coach of Sethu, again, I'll be happy because I won. I wouldn't be happy with the manner of the win, allowing Sports Odisha to create chances against me. If Lady Luck had gone against me, then we would have drawn this game because they missed the penalty also. So I would be happy with the 3 points. I'll be mightily relieved, not happy. I'll be relieved that we got 3 points against Odisha, Sports Odisha. But I would definitely not be happy with the performance of my players. And that's in contrast to the Sports Odisha head coach. She won't be happy that their team lost, but she'll be very happy with the team's performance. And that is the end of the game. Sethu managed to squeeze their way through Sports Odisha with a 1-0 victory, a Kavya header that wrong-footed the goalkeeper early on in the second half. Not the result Sports Odisha wanted, but definitely the performance that they needed after that 8-0 drubbing against Gokulam Kerala last week. So 3 more points in the kitty for Sethu FC. Odisha still rock bottom, 1 goal scored, 17 conceded in 5 games. Junaid, over to you, my friend, our resident statistician.
Right, 53% of the ball was seen by Sethu FC, 47 for Sports Odisha, 10 shots with 1 on target coming in from Sports Odisha, 7 shots from Sethu with 5 landing on target. 8 fouls conceded by Sethu FC, 5 by Sports Odisha, 1 yellow card in the match for Sports Odisha. No red cards in the game. 7 shots taken by Sethu FC, 3, beg your pardon, coming in from Kajal D'Souza. 1 for Babina, 1 for Daya Kavya with that header getting it goalwards, and that proved to be decisive in the end. Priyanka coming off the bench and taking 1 strike. 10 shots for Sports Odisha. They would definitely be not happy with the way this has ended. Kumari with 4, Subhadra Sahu with 3, Sumitra Hembram, Minz and Manisha Nayak with 1 shot each. 8 fouls conceded by Sethu FC, 3 coming in from Kajal D'Souza, Purnima with 2, Kavya, Malvika and Bertha Umida with 1. 5 fouls for Sports Odisha as well. Kumari with 2, Haldar, Manisha Nayak and Amruta Nayak conceding 1 foul each. They got there in the end. Sethu FC 1-0 a victory. That's definitely those 3 points would prove to be way too crucial in the end, and they have managed to successfully back that. Sports Odisha, well, they can take some pride in the way they have performed, but definitely, like we've mentioned right throughout, would not be happy with the result they have got. And in case if you have just joined in, here are the highlights for the entirety of the 90 minutes. It was the goal from Kavya Pakiriswamy at the 50th minute mark, separating the 2 teams. There's Manisha there
So,
trying to toe poke it.
Junaid, another game down. One more big game tomorrow happening at the EMS Stadium between Gokulam Kerala and Kickstart. I hope all of you guys are just as excited as we are. Well, it's farewell from the dynamic duo. My name, of course, is Joel Williams, and my co-commentator Junaid Ahmed. It's been an absolute pleasure calling the shots in this game with all of you guys live from the Tilak Maidan Stadium in Goa. So till tomorrow, another 3:30 kickoff. Do stay safe, take care, and enjoy the rest of your day.
हाँ भूल जाते हो बादाम खाया करो जाओ तुम जाओगे इधर से आए थे ना आ जाओ ना आप लोग इधर से आए थे ना जाओ मैं धीरे धीरे जा रही हूँ उसके बाद मैं भी धीरे धीरे जाऊँगी क्या है हाँ क्रिकेट गेम ड्रा खाली 3-2 हाल दे then volume is quarter गेले मग मत काय हां very well एक सेट अडक काय माहित नाही सेकंड एवढा ती गेम सोडतो नाही दोन सेट आहे दोन नंबर मुलं आराम करा गेम भरून आलो गेले किती भरून आलो गेले साधे हाल टेबल हम दुसऱ्या अरे आओ बोलता है तो सही तो पडलं उभी राहिलो गाडी सगळी उभी राहिलो सेट 71 पडले त्या आपण ते कॅन पहिले कॅमेरा उभी